over to the lane of the Juicin.
Oh my goodness. I know everybody's probably scratching their heads at this draft, but let us know what you think. Casters, it's the last game of the night. Take it away.
We're going all the way, and it comes down to this. Sudden death, game 5 in the upper bracket semis. The Clash of Titans. Momentum is on the Cavalry side, but can the Falcons claw their way back and soar towards the upper bracket finals? Here we go. How do we feel about the shuffle up for Falcons?
This is so interesting. The entire Jushin EXP lane is definitely going to pose problems for the Terizla EXP, and that's the one thing Tlph doesn't want to happen again. The way the Terizla was just unable to perform in game number 1.
Yeah, don't forget, we started this whole mess with Terizla just messing up that whole laning phase and the team fights that came after it. So I hope that's not what happens again for TL, but you know what? You gotta have some faith in these guys. They know what they're doing for sure. But look at that, Ogwin! A free kill for first blood here out of nowhere.
Just as simple as picking a Zushin in the XP, you could answer the lack of presence via rotations, and that's what they did here.
Yep. They are able to spot out Ogwin, who simply probably just wanted to do the same for Super Marco, considering that he is on the carry. This is the typical Harith Granger laning phase in the gold lane. So the carry probably needs a little bit more assistance so she could manage the lane by herself.
Yeah, don't forget, by the way, this carry is an OG Super Marco pick. This was one of the picks he was very adamant about in his first season in the MPL.
Yep, oh, Sanji's all alone here though. So at least he gets to position himself safe near the turret in the mid lane.
And yeah, and by the way, he's also had a lot of deathless games on that hero.
That's
so
true.
Something to watch out for later.
Yep.
As far back as season 10, Marco has been going ham with carry, but in this very match, I don't know.
That was a beautiful collapse. 4-man squad to TL. How do you answer that? There's no way, but they're gonna try, you know what? They're gonna try. Get that kill in. Sanford is up in front.
Unleash the beast! He's gonna take down Daddy JP, serving up a kill to Marco.
They're not gonna proceed with contesting the, or are they gonna contest the purple buff away? They deny it from Tlph. So they don't get their hands on the turtle, but they get a kill and steal away the purple buff.
Wait, where'd it go?
Back to their lanes.
They disperse.
I lost track of the purple. Where it is? I don't know where it is. Anyway.
Oh, I think it's on Kyle?
Kyle, it's on Kyle.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he hit it with the Appraiser's Wrath.
Yep. And they just immediately went back to their lanes. So at least Falcons doesn't let up. They don't allow Team Liquid Philippines to just be all aggressive because they were able to get the early kills towards Ogwin and Tlph already. So they were at least able to trade things out somehow, because that's what they can really capitalize on. The mere fact that Tlph does such a great job in preventing Sanford. Of course, that objective probably was an exception because it was right next to their lane, but the upcoming ones are the next ones, the ones that are just coming in later on, are a completely different story.
Mind you, the layering and the complexity of these fights are still about to hit a fever pitch. That was a what, level 3, level 2 fight?
Yep.
But what if they hit level 4 and they hit these?
This is exactly where it's going to happen, though. Sanford
40.
using the penalty zone just to try to see if he can move a few more pixels, but not going to be enough. Falcons are chasing them down.
Oh, few of the stolen, unleash the beast, pushing away the real thing. Was that just a feint? Because they let Oheb just push in. I don't think it was worth it.
And they also forced out the retribution from Tlph, which probably will make it if they get to buy a little more time for the upcoming objective. But the way things are looking right now, it feels like Falcons, they just are very decisive in terms of them wanting to be the ones to secure the next turtle this time around, even scouting Tlph as he takes his very own purple buff.
Yeah, definitely looking for that jungler here. But it's going to be JP with the jump. AOG, no one is home. Tlph going to be slowing him down as well. I can't believe he's on the Zushin, but very rare occurrence. But yeah, so far that zoning is successful here for TL and Falcons. They're just waiting for whoever wants to pull the trigger.
The Cavalry's doubting themselves. They could collapse.
Yeah, they try to collapse here. Tlph is going to be the one with the turtle, but here's the shortcut. We are going into a big fight, and JP has no way to get out.
JP had to be the sacrifice. That was a beautiful usage of the penalty zone coming in from Sanford, so they were able to stun the members of Team Falcons momentarily and allow Tlph to just get his hands on the objective. But wait,
It's a pincer maneuver. OHEB is forced to use this flicker, and that is a pretty solid move there.
Athletic maneuvers by the Filipino sniper, used to close-range combat like that. And here's what's difficult. The chip can come in and just call in its reinforcements. Sanji has to set it up.
That's the difficult part here. So we might see a little bit of that later, but look at that. Someone's jumping in on here. Tlph is gonna try to see get some good damage on the Flap. You know what? Flap is all good, but look at this. Few
40!
He got caught out there. That was a big boo-boo.
that was probably unexpected for Few, but he should have been a little careful. Like, Tlph was already way up there, so there was no way to find out how Sanford, or at around what time Sanford will be probably arriving in the mid lane. So clearly something that Team Liquid Philippines were able to capitalize on, but OHEB again!
Oh, beautiful jump here. And again, the full Falcon squad, nowhere for OHEB to go. That's going to be a cancel on the diversion as well. And that is 2 for none.
That's instinct, all right? Your brothers in arms are getting attacked. You kind of want to help, but I guess the rest of Liquid said, yeah, it's not worth it. That's all 5 of them there.
Yeah, they weren't even able to get any trades. Another Unleash the Beast.
Look at this guy. Few is very happy to just dive in here, then transport and transform back, rather.
Yeah, that's what makes that so broken. You don't need resolve. Tlph has to fight, has to wait. Few just has to press a button.
And he has it every now and then. Like, the cooldown's too short.
That's right. They're going to jump in, though. Super Marco with a turtle for some reason. But now it's going to be the full collapse for Tlph. I cannot see the HP bars there all clumped together. But there is still going to be a diversion coming into that middle bush. Sanji looking for his targets, but not going to be hitting anybody. Tlph going to get 2v1 by his old teammates here on the bottom side. With OHEB, just a little bit of revenge for his baby cake duo.
Ogwin coming in from the back. Shortcut coming through. Fight's not over.
They're keeping it going. They're keeping the fire burning. JP staying alive, but only for a minute. And Sanji will not be able to help out here unless they just want to keep going. They want to keep the ball rolling. They feel like they have an advantage, and they're going to be able to take it. Sanford goes down.
Falcons want to throw hands, and Liquid cut the smoke. I could have sworn Liquid was going to get away with cold-handed murder, but again, the downtime on Falcons heroes are almost non-existent.
Yep, and now it's Team Falcons who are currently holding the lead. It took that long that Team Falcons, especially with the chip, were just able to re-engage once again against Team Liquid Philippines. And the lack of members, it really hurt them. Now it's Team Falcons who are potentially going to get the first few turrets of the game.
Ogwin is getting chased by each and every single member of Tlph. And for some reason, he will not be able to make it out. Shortcut was activated, though. That's an option they can take, but Sanji got killed out of nowhere here. And now it's the turn! The turn is real from Falcons chasing it up on TL. They don't have enough bullets in the barrel. And for OHEB, that's literal. He is running out of fumes. He is getting hunted down by Falcons here.
Protect kill one! Sanford is protecting kill one! Falcons, the way that they position themselves, the heroes that they have, their kits, it's just too much for Liquid to deal with.
I'm pretty sure I saw this exact Valentina stealing away the Granger ult in the regular season in Team Liquid Philippines. Sanji did it too, and now he's feeling it right now, but they go for the diversion!
Here's a diversion into the fight. You thought you were safe? Not really. TL are not taking this lying down. They will try to fight it out. 4 members. Make that 5. Actually present on the Lord in few 17 seconds on the clock.
Man advantage for the Cavalry here. JP zoning out too. Super Marco not exactly a good position for him to be, and AOG out!
AOG out. That portal is very, very far. Here comes the penalty zone. Finally a big bunny penalty zone for Sanford. And that's 4 down for Falcons and the Lord to boot.
Liquid Stampede. Look it up in a dictionary. You would see a moving picture of that very play.
And that is coordination right there. the immediate unleash the beast right after the penalty zone, and the free Lord alongside that successful team fight for Team Liquid Philippines. They definitely took back the lead away from Team Falcons.
We'll see that play one more time. Again, when Falcons choose the range, when Falcons choose the time to engage, they win 9 out of 10 times. But here, it was all Liquid.
Yeah, they quickly turned to take away the members of to take down the members of Team Falcons, and they were free enough to just resume taking the Lord for themselves, which is now marching towards the top lane. And Team Falcons, they found themselves in this spot even though they were playing the early game pretty well.
Man, if you look at the gold graphs there, you're going to see a big jagged mountain there. I am pretty sure. Because right now it is Tlph with a huge gold deficit created against Falcons, who were, I think ahead by 2K or 3K.
They're calling the shots. They're pushing lanes. Ogwen is now forced to hide in these bushes and try to scrounge up signs and semblances of their early game. So far, what's happening to Falcons is they're playing to Liquid's tempo, and much like that quote from the film from 2014, starring Miles Teller, Whiplash, it's not my tempo. Falcons have to keep up with Liquid. They have to play to this speed.
Yeah, it's too fast. It's too fast, man. It's like a different genre altogether.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, they're going for something first again. Oh,
and they're gonna collapse on the flap. They find another isolated target, and that, with a minion wave in tow, could be problematic for Falcons.
Why walk by Ogwen, taking this bush? I wonder if anyone saw him. Sanji's getting sandwiched here.
You see Sanji, and there's no one to follow up. For the meantime, Tlph up on front. No one that will be able to help the chip. Unless Energy Eruption was activated. Tlph at the very last moment, and they're forcing flickers. Tlph is low. They absorb that shockwave blast, and they are now ready to go. They're fighting back.
Toe-to-toe, tit for tat. Falcons have shoved out Liquid without conceding. Ogwen, you shall not take down the master.
This is unbelievable. Fortunately for Team Liquid Philippines, the Unleash the Beast, the original Unleash the Beast made it. Like, the cooldown was there, but if it weren't for that, Falcons would have probably pushed it all the way. They could have went for Team Liquid Philippines, and that would have hurt them so much since they're already in the lead. But now they're able to both reset. And this is very important because we have another Lord spawning in the bottom side.
All right, Liquid thinking if they should amuse and entertain Falcons. As Falcons asks, shall we dance? Tlph just checking range. Super Marco hidden in this bush. I wonder if they know. That Marco's here.
Honestly, the first time, or the previous time we saw... Hold on, never mind.
Here we go again! And that's a -1. That's the jungler! That's the jungler removed from Falcons. That is huge.
Shortcuts get smashed in. Ogwen pressed it.
Oh, there's just no way. Not like this. Not like this.
2 free kills for Liquid.
And this is exactly what I was supposed to say. It's always Team Liquid Philippines going in first, finding the right bushes. Ogwen is able to hold a couple of bushes too, but he just can't go for anything. He can't start things up.
The nature of Falcons' lineup requires for them to take 2 or 3 extra steps. Sure, their downtime is non-existent, but Liquid PH, they're so proactive.
Yeah.
They're always looking for plays, cross map, just checking bushes, ready to go anytime. Oh my lord, 4K ahead, another diversion.
And they have the firepower as well to back it up. And now look at this. They're just marching in on the mid. Ogwen is very far away. There is very little AoE on their lineup. Super Marco is trying his very best. But it's Ogwen coming in from the back. He's looking for Sanji, but he flickers out.
Forced to use it, retreating behind his base. Tlph holding out the siege minion. Tier 2 down bottom falls.
They survive at least for now.
Yeah, they didn't even get to use the shortcut, but what could it do at this point where Team Liquid Philippines, they're already all in front of you, and look at the damage coming in from Oheb.
Yeah, he's gonna have to find a way to make himself very useful in the next fights, because you're right, the shortcut doesn't really matter that much if everyone is just in their faces.
And now this is going to be very difficult to do. But Liquid makes the call, decides to do the right thing and be disciplined.
Be disciplined. You cannot afford to make such a huge mistake at this point. Your upper bracket finals ticket is already within reach.
Just to put it into context, winning this series puts you a best of 5 win away from punching your ticket to MSC at EWC 25. One more series win after this game.
That's literally one series, one step to possible world domination at MSC and a whopping prize pool.
And these two teams know exactly what it feels like. Just a year ago, they were both our representatives at the very first MSC EWC. And that's why it's so important for Liquid to play this right. That's why it's so important for Falcons to find a way back.
They were there. They were in Riyadh for how many weeks? We saw them represent the Philippines.
Just want to keep the world tour going, you know?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we wish you were here. The Champions Arena is cold. It is quiet and it is tense.
This looks like another diversion play that can happen.
It's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. It's funnily enough, Falcons also can get their own diversion. They don't need to rely on the chip this time.
Yeah, but does he want to opt for that? The Unleash the Beast that he's been copying.
He needs that damage, I know.
8, 9, not 10 times out of 10, that's the right call. But here's the thing. To even make that decision, Liquid have to show themselves. Few has to be within range. And that might not even be a starter. Oh my god!
Speaking of you, oh my god, he baited the whole squad.
Diversion!
Here comes the diversion! Coming in from the back! And that's a wombo combo that everyone saw coming. The damage is so immense. Freed members got pushed back, and Tlph are looking very unstoppable here. JP using the AOG.
Oh dear god.
They're jumping in, they are diving in, they're trying to avoid these projectiles, but Ogwin is gonna fall alongside. Wow.
2 free kills for Liquid, and they decide to go for the throat. Falcons have to defend.
This could be it. Will Super Marco, will Few be enough? Tlph, the crucial energy eruption, he uses it, but it's way too late, and we have a winner!
The victor of the Clash of Titans are the Cavalry. Team Liquid Philippines are going to the upper bracket finals.